Live.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, arise and give praise to Allah, honor to His holy and illustrious Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, founder of the Moorish Temple of America in 1813. Give honor to where honors is due in each and every one of you, especially the brother here who say you're going to be on the camera so I can ask him what's your nationality. What's your nationality? Adrian Trainer TV, check us out.
Alright, so what's the question?
Now, before we even go, introduce yourself, let them know where you at, what you're doing.
Brother Divine Prospect, coming out with a lot of good stuff next year. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm spearheading Kingdom Harvest Ministries, and we giving lectures for free to the people to educate them. We're also providing services at the end of the lectures where you can either donate or can be part of loan cancellation services, naturopathic health services. We have Vidistar programs, and we get into housing next year. So we're trying to alleviate the hang-ups that our people have, so that way when they go into these venues to receive this information, they can be more clear in regards to what they receive and not have to worry about the issue that they face once they leave out. So that's just all I'm about. I'm not going to give too much about what I do, but I just wanted to get on the camera so my brother, because he wanted to ask me a vital question that I think that the people need to hear.
Man, that vital question, if you ain't know, it's because I ain't asked you yet, and I'm coming to you. The brother Divine Prospect, I don't know if you remember, me and Adrian Trainer number 2, we were at the weigh-in.
Yes, I see.
We were listening, paying attention, and not everybody really sounded like they had an actual plan to execute it. You sound like when you were up there, you was really pro-militant, like you got your plan, you executing it, you in the process of. And so it's beautiful to actually be able to catch you on the one-on-one like that, you know? And so, basically, what's your nationality, bro?
First, we got to define nationality.
Nationality is that quality or character. Is that nationality is that quality or character that arises from the fact of a person belonging to a nation or a state.
Okay. And now, does the nationality also incorporate common cultures, customs, and cultures of the people that are involved in the nationality? Are they also internationally recognized?
Well, nationality itself is merely the membership of a person to a nation, and the stipulations that come with that, the way you act, the way you eat, the way you dress, the way you conduct yourself, your mental paradigm. And so, a nation is a group of people sharing the same customs, cultures, tradition, language, historic continuity. Historic continuity being the main one, because we all have an origin, and every other nation can trace themselves back to the beginning except ours. But we can't trace ourselves back to a beginning we don't have, yet we can't trace ourselves back to the end of our nation, because we're taught we're Negroes or Africans or, whatever finite thing that's to a construct that's 200, 300 years old. Now, I hope I didn't get too deep into that, but I just want to make the distinction between, what a nation is, which is actually of existing people, and then you have things that are made up.
So now my question to you is this: in order to be a nation, are we talking about a body politic?
Yes, a nation does consist of a dual society.
Okay, so in regards to body politic, that's something that has to be established and on the books, correct?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily? So how would it be internationally recognized when you're dealing with a corporation?
Oh, well, for a nation to be internationally recognized, yes, it definitely needs to be documented evidence of the nation's existence.
Okay, so you see, I'm good with that type of stuff. So also it deals with contracts, correct? Because if you have some person that's a citizen of the nation, it's via contract.
Well,
statutory
membership of a nation, if you would have a citizenship, you would have a citizenship in a country, which would be the national government of the nation.
So if you are that nation, and we're talking about a country, or the Moors a country, aside from Morocco. So
the Moors are a nation.
Okay, a nation that exists within a country.
Within various countries, specifically the country that we're in right now is the main objective.
America, right?
Right, because let's not start talking about Moors in Nova Scotia.
No, we're not talking about that shit. Because before I answer any question, I need to ask questions and clarify, so I make sure that I'm speaking right and exact.
That's what an intelligent man
Alright, so yeah. So in regards to nationality, that's something that I'm starting with my school of thought. First thing is you have to get people to understand how to alleviate or how to get rid of their current citizenship, because their citizenship also denotes the pledge or the tribute that they give to the nation that they are quote-unquote citizen of. a lot of people don't have full disclosure in regards to their citizenship. You're not being told that it was created off your birth certificate. You're not being told that the power of attorney was given through your social security. You're not being told all of these things. So we have to create a system to counter that when we provide a nationhood. But first, you have to get people away from this current system. Now, that's one thing I give props to the Moors for, because Noble Drew Ali brought that science to the people to understand the inner workings of the incorporated state that we lived in, etc. So now, if you ask me what's my nationality, that's what I'm in the process of creating right now. Language, culture, common history, customs that work for the people, things that are good, things that are bad. We're assessing it right now. Do I have one right now? No, I don't have one right now. Only because I didn't officiate it.
Cool, now check this out. Now, all people have a nation, right? Okay, are you a part of a people?
By default, yes.
So if you're a part of the people, then you must have a nation, whether you acknowledge it or not.
I agree. Either it's something that was voluntarily or involuntarily. So right now, the state is involuntary, because everything's done on behalf without my full disclosure at a particular age.
So you do have a nation.
Oh, I'm attached to a nation.
All right. Now we know that
now by default, that's what I'm saying.
I understand. Do we know that nationality and citizenship are two distinct things?
Of course it is.
Okay, so we know that you can't be a citizen of a nation, be a citizen of a country, and be a member of a nation.
True.
Now, being a member of a nation means that this nation already exists and you're part of something already existing. Now, if we don't know what we're already existing of, it doesn't mean that we're not a part of it. All right, so now, can we agree that we are a part of a nation, whether we acknowledge it or not?
Whether it's voluntary, involuntary, by default, by choice, yes, I agree.
All right, cool. Now, that nation that is existing, right? Because we know America is a country and various nations inhabit America. Do we know the name of the nation that we come from that inhabits America right now?
You're going to get different answers depending on who you ask.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. Do we know?
Me and you?
You and I. Do you and I know the nation?
I would say we know, but I think we have different perspectives in regards to that.
All right, so what's the knowledge? Because a perspective is an opinion.
Yeah.
And dogmatism is opinionated, that is propagated as fact.
Or codified as fact, I agree.
And you know, nothing I spit is an opinion. Everything is actual fact. So now I gotta know, what is the actual fact, the name of the nation that we derive from, or that we descend from?
Now, when you say we now, are you saying
you
that
and
I subscribe to?
No, not your subscription. This is what it is. You can subscribe to being a Martian, but that's not the fact. The fact is, you're an American citizen, and you have a nation you come from.
So the nation we come from predates us being taken here in the diaspora here in America. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, I would say our nation is over 50,000 years old under one political jurisdiction, which has been autonomously operating.
Now, when we talk about that, is it something defined in regards to the common customs of the people, or something that was incorporated by the people and established so that other nations can recognize?
Both.
Okay, so if we're gonna look at it like that, he's trying to get me towards the Moors, right? But if we're gonna look at it like that, I would see the perspective in regards to how the Moors are perpetuating this to our people, so that way we can get an identity of who we are before we get taken over here. When we look through history, we know the history of the Moors are the ones that brought the sciences to the Europeans. We know the history of the Moors are the ones that had the collective of books in Timbuktu, that ran the Mali Empire, etc., and they settled in Morocco. So we understand that system, and we were called or labeled Moors by our oppressors, which were the Europeans.
You have references to prove that?
Oh, I got references for all of it.
Do you have one right off the top?
Off the top of the dome, not necessarily. I'm not going to say here and say I do.
I would refute that statement, and I got a reference right now off the dome.
Which is?
That we have a treaty called the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1787, which is between the United States of America and the Empire of Morocco.
Yes,
so the Empire of Morocco, when we translated it from Arabic to English, we were calling ourselves Moors. So then the term Moor defines as a member of the Moroccan Empire.
Now I'm glad you said that, because my next question for you would be, are you saying that every African person on the continent of Africa who's considered or called a Moor colloquially, are they of the nation of Morocco?
Okay,
if not, then that doesn't apply to them.
Now, the term Moor defines as member of the Moroccan Empire. So, you know, the Moorish-Americans are the descendants of the inhabitants of the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. These people are Moors. These people are Moorish Muslims. So all these other, nations that was around,
so my question
they fell victim. That's what happened.
Are they Moors by default, or Moors because they voluntarily agreed to this nationhood? Because all of them will not accept that.
Look, listen, whether you accept it or not, y'all, is irrelevant. Like, if you come from 125th Street and 110th Street is beefing with 125th Street, and you come to 110th Street and you like, yo, well, I don't subscribe to being from 125th, but everybody on 110th know that you from 125th Street, we're gonna jump you. Facts. It don't matter what you subscribe to. You from where you said you from. You said you from where you didn't say you from, because it don't matter. That's where you from. So if that's where you from, it's not like, well, I subscribe to this, I don't. If you a descendant of the inhabitants of the northwest and the southwestern shores of Africa, the same people who came across to these shores and have founded all types of civilization over 50,000 years ago, and that's who you are. You can't be like, yo, I'm Kemetic and Hattah, Heru, Assad, Aset, and you don't got a job, a car, a license, you know what I'm saying? Stop it.
Or you do have those things because that's showing your allegiance to the system that is oppressing.
If you have these things, first off, in order to have these things, you gotta subscribe to being an American.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what kind of American are you? You second class, first class?
And are you operating on natural law, common law, or are you operating under statutory law?
Are you operating, period?
Well, that too. I mean, like I said, it's either voluntarily or involuntarily. Most people don't know they're involuntarily operating under these jurisdictions.
Right.
But what the thing about the Moors is that they've established a nationality, so that way you can go back to common and natural laws, such as right to travel, right? Common natural laws, such as certificate of live birth.
I wouldn't say that.
You wouldn't say that?
Nah,
because you know, I hear different things from different Moors now.
Listen, man, being Moorish-American don't got nothing to do with the right to travel. When people talk about hands up, don't shoot.
No, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about when I say
now,
right.
Just letting people over here know Moorish-Americans, Moors, this not about no driving without no license, not about being tax-free. Y'all sound stupid. Being a Moorish-American is about love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, knowing your higher self and your lower self, knowing to obey the laws of the said government and live a life accordingly, because you are the said government when you start voting yourself in elected positions so that you could take your position in the affairs of men and start governing yourselves as a true body politic. That's what being Moorish is about. All that other stuff talk about being subversive.
It's because they're trying to get involved in the benefits and privileges of being a Moor, and they're not understanding that it has to do with the intrinsic building of self before you can extrinsically manifest that. And this is why I like Moors like this that speak this knowledge. This is right and exact that they were saying the 5% nation is right and exact information, because if your internal character is not built up and reformed and refined, has nothing to do with what you do on the outside, because it's not going to connect. You're on a different vibration, the resonance is different, and everything's going to be off how you talk, how you speak, how you act. People will pick that up, and your oppressor will see that, and he's not gonna have any fear in his heart when he interacts with you.
That's why when he see y'all Moors and y'all Moors be wearing your feathers, so-called Moors be having your feathers, and all y'all getting locked up and all that, and it ain't nothing funny, but y'all being misled. Y'all being taught to have this much paperwork and had to put it into this and put it into that, and in reality, you have an institution that was set up for you to take advantage of the privileges and benefits
and
of
to prevent you from being locked up. Because if you understand how to operate, you wouldn't be incarcerated, because you understand that you're perpetuating the system.
Yo, you sound like a Moorish-American, but I still don't know your nationality. I'm very confused right now, because...
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that because I understand the science. Oh. No, we're going to have to do a part 2 on this. I'm going to save that for the brother, because I'm not going to answer it directly, because, again, I like to build first before I come out and commit to something.
Why don't you come to Temple sometime, man? Just chill with us.
When you have your services, bro.
Every Friday and Sunday.
What time?
Fridays at 7:30, Sundays at 2 p.m. And we got the conference calls, too. Like, you can call in, ask questions, like the moderator of the call.
Which more temple that you're a part of? The one over here on 25th?
What temple on 25th?
I mean, 23rd. I think it's 123rd Street.
No, there's no Moorish Science Temple of America in Manhattan operating. No, there's no Moorish Science Temple of America operating in Harlem. And anybody saying that, they fraudulent, they out of law, they out of order. We got all... I'm not even going to get into that. Just know that there's a lot of legal stuff going on, because y'all violating copyright as it's in the American Constitution, and we do have a right to protect our intellectual property. So just be on the lookout for that, man, because you know you got a Moorish lawyer on your way, man. Yeah, and check my mixtape on my way to college. And it's not nothing that you could pop into your MP3 players real life. You're going to have to be hearing this sound travel.
Peace to God! We're about to get out of here because we need to catch Ali before he bounces. So.